Hello everyone and welcome to a Riley review. So today we're going to be reviewing BioShock, one of my personal favorite games. Now before we get into the review, I have to warn you there are going to be some spoilers. So if you came here to see a review before you played the game, I don't recommend that. So let's get into it. BioShock is an FPS released on Windows and Xbox 360 on August of 2007, and then the PS3 on October 2008. The game's set in the 1960s in an underwater city called Rapture. It was built by Andrew Ryan to escape political and social tension of World War II. However, there is something that makes Rapture a little more unique. It has some kind of genetic mutation thing that lets you, have telekinesis or shoot fire or shoot even wasps from your hand. It's sort of superpower in a way. It came with a cost though. See this? Yeah, that's the cost. It's pretty bad. So you, Jack, walk in Rapture and see this. You think, why wouldn't you leave, right? It's pretty horrifying. You see people like that trying to kill you, and you're like, hey, maybe I should leave. Well, you can't because you're stuck here. Some lady cut off your only exit. So, yay. So you're forced to live with the rest of everyone else in order to survive. You're forced to use this thing called Eve. That's what the superpowers are called, what they're powered by. Eve powers the superpowers, and Adam makes them stronger. It's kind of like gold. Everyone wants it, and they'll do anything they can do to get their hands on it. The most common place to get this is from the little sisters. Look at them, all cute and stuff. Well, they're protected by these. Yeah, those will mess you up quite a bit. They will destroy your face and butt, or whatever else you got that isn't already dead already. Yeah. Well, that's all I need to know about background. On to the pros. Now, this game has a phenomenal storyline. I would give this game so much praise. There are great spoilers throughout the game, not just at the end, but throughout, even in the middle and the beginning. And there's also multiple endings depending on what you do with the little sisters when you eventually kill the big daddies. That gives you 3 endings, and depending on whether or not you're a sadist, they're good, bad, and sad. Now, characters, this, I have to assume, much effort was put into. Because throughout the game, you learn about every character you come into contact with, whether they be part of the main storyline or not. You learn about people who aren't in the main storyline through these kind of audio diaries, not auto diaries. You can learn stories of people who you don't even know, and you feel for them too. This game makes you feel, alright? You could not even see this person who's talking to you about all their hardships, and you will feel for them. They talk like actual people would, if they were to be in that position. Most games don't do a very good job with that, but I think this one really does. It really captures, the tone and the kind of way people would say things if they were going through that kind of hardship. There are also a couple things that could honestly go either way. They're not really pros, not really cons, just depends on what you're into. Like the game, very creepy and very dark. The atmosphere is not very bright. There's a lot of death, blood, violence, a lot of creepy things, and a few jump scares if you go exploring. So they're not in the main game, not mostly, but they're there. So, if that's the kind of atmosphere you're into, then that would be a pro for you. If not, it would be a con. Exploration. Now this is darn near, required in order to, play this game and have a comfortable time doing it. Some people like exploring, some people don't. I personally do. I love, finding new things and being like, wow, I found this brand new ammo. Okay, there's not much to find, but it definitely does help you throughout the game. There's always this constant tension with having no ammo and health kits, having 2 at a time. And, Eve, the same, only having 2 Eve hypos at a time, but whatever. It just adds more to the atmosphere. You're literally surviving in this wasteland. So, if you explore, you'll get stuff that'll make you stronger and just make the experience a little bit more comfortable for you. I feel like that takes away from the atmosphere, though, so, for me, it would still be in between. Not a pro, not a con. Speaking of cons, now on to the con. So one of them would be the graphics, but, what can you do for a 2007-2008 game? It's not The Witcher 3. So, that one's neither here nor there, but there is one con that bothered me a bit, and that's mysteries being unsolved. In the beginning of the game, when you're on the plane, before it crashes, you look in your wallet and see a bunch of people. And, I forget what else is in the wallet, but I know you see people. Who are those people? It's never really explained to you. Throughout the game, you see little flashes of images that you've seen before, like including the wallet, like you looking at a cigarette, your tattoos on your wrists that are chains that I think are really cool. And it's never really explained, why that is. You also, throughout, exploring Rapture, see things that happen in Rapture's past. Like the screen will go fuzzy, and then you'll be able to see something, a conflict or a quarrel or something along those lines. Now, I know you are a direct descendant of Andrew Ryan, the builder of Rapture. So before all you guys, go in the comments and write like, oh, he's connected. He's not. Yes, he's a descendant, but why does that make him able to see the past or, remember things that have, seemingly no connection to anything that's happening in that point in time? Also, one thing that I have to admit helped me a lot throughout the game, but still annoyed me, was the over-understanding respawn. It seemed to patronize you in a way. Like, oh, it's okay you died here, you can just start right here, and everything's the same as it was before, because that's how it is. Literally, you die, and nothing happens. Health is useless. There should not be a health bar there if you just come back, and it's the same as before. You just run back to the guy you were killing and finish him off, or die again, and then come back and finish him off, and so on. At least in BioShock Infinite, you lose some money. There's an incentive to using health kits and trying to survive. In BioShock, I found myself just running around, having no care for my life at all. Now, there are some exceptions. Mostly boss fights. If you die, you lose your progress on the boss, you restart, and there's your incentive. But that's like 5% of the game. There's 7 bosses. Not even. I think there's 5 bosses. And they're not all that difficult if you know what you're doing. Now, between weighing the pros and cons, I feel like the pros just outweigh the cons. Having mysteries unsolved, I guess, does leave some to the imagination. I mean, maybe it was on purpose, maybe it wasn't. I'd give this game a solid 9 out of 10. I'm personally biased to the game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite are just amazing. Obviously not perfect, but no game is. And there's my review. Thanks guys so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like. And if you have something to say about it, or a game, or something, it doesn't have to be a game. This is just a general review channel, but if you have something you want me to review, leave it in the comments. And I will try and get around to it, write a script, and throw it up on the channel. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.